Hey guys, it's Cthulthu here. So this would have been the second episode of What the Fuck Noobs, but after talking with a couple of my friends, we decided that it wasn't a great title. It was pretty misleading. This rant series is not just about things that I dislike about how people play this game, but it's also about things that I dislike about gameplay altogether. So on that subject, one of the things I hate about this game is randoms. Now, talking about the history of randoms quickly, so randoms was brought in at the start of, when RuneScape 2 was released, and the reason behind it was because it was a detection system for them to detect bots, and for a number of years maybe, it seemed pretty successful. It seemed to be working. There were a few mistakes on the way, but it seemed a pretty decent system. Then about a couple of years ago, they announced that randoms had become redundant in detecting bots. Now, I think the main reason is because, bots had become way too advanced, and the random system simply wasn't good enough to detect those bots. The second reason, I think, is because, obviously Jagex must have developed a couple new ways, better ways of detecting bots that just made the random system completely redundant. Now, for whatever reason, 2 years ago, so like I said, 2 years ago, they said that the system had become redundant, and you think to yourself, well, that's great. It's great that Jagex have improved their detection system. But it's also great that, finally we have a reason to get rid of randoms. But did they get rid of randoms? No. Jagex decided that, it was so much a part of RuneScape, of what everybody knew about the game. It was basically like legacy. But they decided that they wanted to keep randoms in the game. And I'm sure a hell of a lot of us, at very least the majority of us, will agree that we would rather have a RuneScape game without random. So this whole rant video is going to be about randoms, obviously, and it's just the things that I hate about randoms personally. But I'd love to hear your views as well. So I'll ask those questions at the end, though. So yeah, what I hate about randoms. Well, firstly, what I actually appreciate about randoms, or at least the changes they make to some random, is that, like, for example, the evil twin sister random. You are able to click on the door to go into the next room. She will ask you, do you know what you're doing? You will say yes, and then you can just get on with it. Unfortunately, this is not the case for every random. For example, the Treasure Island random, at least that's what I call it. It's where you have a chest, and you have to line up 3 of the same items in the chest that you're told to, and that's it. You open the chest, and that's the end of the random. Now, it takes literally 1 to 2 seconds to complete that puzzle, but you have to go through the entire chat dialogue every single time. There is no fast way of getting through that chat dialogue, and it's really annoying. Going through the chat dialogue, going through all the text that you already know, you know the instructions, you know how to do this random. It's extremely easy and simple to understand, but you have to go through the dialogue, and it takes you way, way longer than it takes to actually complete the puzzle. And that's one thing that I hate about random in particular. Another thing I hate about randoms is how time-consuming some can be. For example, the mime and also the maze. I particularly hate the maze because the maze can actually be even slower if there's someone in front of you. It's not an instance. You do it with other people that are also drawn into the random. Quite often you can get stuck behind a bot. And when it comes to opening doors and just getting through the maze as quickly as possible, these bots slow you down. Everybody slows you down because when they open the door, your character stops until that door is closed, and then you can then again click on the door and continue with your journey. It's just really, really annoying, especially when it's a bot in front of you, because what a bot usually does is it goes to the next door, it stands in front of it for about 2 seconds, and then opens it. And that slows you down, and then by the time the bot gets to the next door it's supposed to get to, then, you've caught up, but then again, you've slowed down because it's waited 2 seconds for you to catch up, then it opens the door and you can't get in front of it. That's another extremely annoying thing. The other two things I hate about Maze, firstly, I hated getting it. I actually got this one, probably the worst random you could get during bonus experience weekend. It wasted such a great multiplier I got from runecrafting. It made me learn that for definite, for future bonus experience weekends, you need to get a random before the actual day. As soon as you get a random, that's it. You stop playing and you wait for bonus experience weekend, because you can then start on a clean sheet and get the max amount of experience you can get before it starts to, before then you know that it's going to be a long time until you get the next random during the weekend. So yeah, and then the other thing I hate about Maze is how it's a set reward. You're going to get some rubbish that you don't necessarily want. I would much rather have the option of getting a genie lamp. The only thing that makes randoms even slightly better than they, horribly are already, is the fact that at least I'll be getting 920 experience in agility, or even more if it's Book of Knowledge. So, the only bright part of the randoms is taken away from me with the maze. It's also done again using the quiz show random, where you just don't get the option at all to get a genie lamp. So another annoying random. Then there's the pinball random. The pinball random changes the camera angle every 5 or so seconds. Now this obviously makes it harder for bots to do, but in terms of me, I mean, what it means is if you're trying to do it in a rush, you can accidentally click on the screen when the camera angle changes, and this could force you to accidentally click on one of the poles that you're not supposed to, and that can completely, ruin your random. It means that you have to restart all over again. It also, more importantly, means that I lose out on getting a genie lamp because I failed it. So yet another annoying random. My top 2 most annoying randoms, though, have to be Mime and it has to be Maze. I've explained Maze completely now. But the reason that I hate Mime more than anything else, not more than anything else, but more than most others, is because Mime is it takes you a set amount of time. You can't speed it up. You can complete the emote that you have to do, but then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but then you have to wait. You have to wait for people that could also be doing the same random to finish what they're doing before you can get on to the next phase, and that's another annoying thing. It's always the same amount of time. Anyway, I'm going to get started on doing this random finally, so I'll find out what I'm doing, and yeah, complete it. But yeah, I think I've mentioned pretty much everything about randoms. So guys, let me know in the comments below. Quite a few questions I have for you. So firstly, is there a good title for this series, a better title than what I've called it so far? Secondly, what randoms annoy you? Thirdly, why do they annoy you? And the fourth question would be, should Jagex just remove randoms if it's just a redundant system, if there's no reason to have it in the game? Or do you agree with it being, such a big part of RuneScape now that we just should stick with it because it's part of RuneScape legacy, it's part of RuneScape history, and it should stay with us forever? So let me know in the comments below, guys. But thanks for watching, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this rant more than you enjoyed the last one. I know the last one got quite a lot of different opinions, different views, different everything. But hopefully we can all join together on this one. That the fact is that randoms annoy a huge majority of us. So thanks for watching, guys. Until next time, see you around.